again. So what you should have done is imported those sprites or downloaded my little pack, and you can see that I've added a few more things here, some pillars and other stuff, and I have made a background. Now that background I added as a tileable sprite, so I could just resize it to any size I wanted. These other ones are just all individual sprites, and to add them in, you either drag them in, then you can click on them and hold Control to make duplicates of them. You can also select more than one at a time and move them around, so you could make like a little pattern, say like this, select those 4, and then use that to build out a level and so on. So I've done this and I haven't finished it, but I've added quite a few things in, and what I want to do is get to actually coding this. I have put behaviors on most of these things except the spikes at the moment. So what we're going to do is go to main game events, and first thing we want to do is sort the camera out, because at the moment if I run the game, you'll see that I can run through here, there's no animation on it, but once I get to the end, see, he's gone. He comes down here and nothing happens. You can't get out of that hole. But that's not what we want. We want to be able to have the camera follow us. So in the game events, we're going to add a new event, and it's going to be camera, change the camera, center the camera on an object. And we're just going to center it on the player, and that will be fine. So now when we run, we see that the camera centers on the player. Now if I wanted those things to be behind the player, I can do that as well. I just have to change the Z location of the player. Can move down here, and if he falls off the screen, it just keeps on following him. So we'll take care of that another time. But we want to add some other conditions. We want to make our own movement. Okay, we don't want to use the arrow keys and space. Maybe you want to use something else. So that's where this is going to come in. Key pressed down here, and I'm going to use the arrow keys. So I'm going to use left, and then over here I'm going to simulate, and I want to use platform behavior, so I'm going to simulate the left key press, and choose an object, the player, and click OK. Now I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to turn off the default controls. Okay, I don't want the default controls on anymore because I want to be programming them myself. So now right key doesn't work, up or down don't work, left key does. And when I use that left key, oops, I want to change the animation of the player to be run. I think it's actually string run, like that, equal to run. That may be, I'll change the animation by name, that's the one that I want, equals run, so in quotations. You must enter text between quotes, like that. So it's not equals run, it's just set to run. I'm pretty sure that's what I called it on my player. So if I go back to here, idle run, yep. Or I could use animation number 1, and that would be okay. Now, at the moment, he runs backwards. Not ideal, not what I want. But we can also, I think we can flip the object horizontally. Player. Activate flipping. I'm not sure what that means. I'll just click OK, and I might come back to that. So when I push left, flip horizontally, player, that should be yes. Okay, so that flips him horizontally. So those 3 things happen when the left key is pressed. I'm going to repeat this, duplicate it. Can I duplicate this whole thing? I don't think I can. So I'm going to add a new condition. This is going to be key pressed is the right key. Make sure I click it. Don't just rely on my pressing of it. And this is going to be simulate the right key press for the player. I'm going to set the animation by name. Type animation, change the animation by name. It's going to be quotations, run. And flip horizontally. This is going to be no, because when he's moving to the right, we don't want him to flip horizontally. So now he moves like that. It's kind of a funny walk animation that I made. It looks more like he's shuffling, but that works fine. Okay, we haven't got jump working yet. I'm actually going to use up for climbing some stuff, so I'll make some things that are climbable. But at the moment, I'm going to change space to jump. So I am going to use essentially the default controls, but you can change them. You guys might want to use WASD and something else for jump. It's up to you. So add in a new event, and this is going to be key pressed, space. Okay, and then we're going to what am I doing? Simulate jump key press for that player. Now I'm also going to change the animation by name to jump. Now this is not going to work properly, and you'll see why. Currently it does jump and then he walks, but as soon as I let go of the space key, in the air he's still walking in the air instead of doing that jump animation while he's in the air. So we've got the basic movement down though. Now the basic movement is there, and you can continue designing your level and importing those sprites. And in the next video, I will show you how to fix some of these things, and we'll make it so that when he jumps in the air, it just shows the jump animation, but it also does flip the left and right key around. So we'll do all that in the next video.